this tree, this is from Rotorua's first redwood tree, which was planted to be a massive Christmas tree.
Meters higher. It's significant, isn't it? 40 meters.
What did you say?
The ones in California are 40 meters higher, or the tallest one is 40 meters higher. So it's like, yeah, like 50% bigger, pretty much. Wow.
Traitor. Hey Tim, why do redwood trees only grow in California and New Zealand?
Well, we've learned that New Zealand and California are near enough equal distances from the equator, just kind of like mirror positions. But fun fact about New Zealand, it has got much high rainfall than California, which makes it perhaps even more suited to grow redwood trees.
Oh, cool fact.
Yeah, cool fact.
You're rattling the whole tree, stop it. You can't even see the top of it.
Punching. How do they swing on these in Planet of the Apes?
The reason I really wanted to come to see the redwoods was because when I was in year 1 and 2 with Mr. Tui in his class, my class was called the Redwood Trees, and I was really proud of our name because we are the tallest trees in the whole world. So it's really cool. I actually get to see some now. If I see Mr. Tui, I'm going to let him know that I was very impressed.
It's nearly as tall as my big brother. So owls are incredibly significant to Maori tribes. We learned yesterday when we visited the village that every single Maori person has a tattoo of an owl on them on their chin. So all the women have the tattoo on their chin of an owl, and all the men do as well. Some of them grow beards over it, but they all have the owl. As they grow older, the men will get different birds on their faces meaning different things. So we learned about, I think it was the parrot is on the nose. If you're a teacher or a wise person, you get the parrot because that represents kind of storytelling. I think there was perhaps a raven that if you were the chief you got. I'd need to look that up, but definitely they all had an owl on their chin, men and women.
At home we have silver ferns, but here in New Zealand we actually see these everywhere. They're big like fern trees and they're called mamaku trees, and they're really tall. Look how tall they are.
So the fern that Chloe was just talking about, the silver fern, is you'll recognise it from lots of New Zealand imagery, most commonly on the rugby shirts and Air New Zealand. We just learned from reading that in 1905 the first New Zealand rugby team went overseas to play rugby against different nations. They played 35 games and won 34 of them wearing the silver fern insignia and the first black kit. But more importantly, we learned that it was the British who gave them the nickname the All Blacks. So that heritage is all thanks to the Brits.
We stood on the biggest tree in the tree walk, and it's actually 72 meters high.
So on this tree, we've learned the fact that this entire forest kind of counteracts the carbon emissions of 120 flights from New Zealand to London, or 167 cars, their emissions per year, or the diet of 27 people. Which surprised me that that was worse than the flights.
Yep. Tim likes to take his panoramic views.
I'd like to send them to my grandma.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Tim makes it wobble so much. I'm way better when I'm just on my own. Look at it rattling. Must have dainty feet of a fairy, and Tim has feet of an elephant.
You would love to have this guy's job.
So I'm going to tell you the history of what happened whilst this redwood tree was alive. This here was when Jesus Christ was born. This is when we had the Great Fire of Rome. The Roman Colosseum finished. The Han Dynasty ends. The Mayan Empire begins. The Chinese have invented gunpowder. This was the First Crusade. This was when the Magna Carta was signed. This is when the Black Death came to England. This is when Columbus came to America and Joan of Arc died. This is when the Americans got independence. This is World War II and World War I. And this was when the tree was cut down. In my tree slice reading, I realised that I said World War I and World War II the wrong way around, so according to that tree, that's how it was. And we're all back to Little Schmack.